Greetings of the day. Welcome to the course on Operations Research Technique. Students, you are aware that we are in unit number 6, and unit number 6 comprises of two various units of your or components of your syllabus. First was simulation and second was queuing theory, or other name for queuing theory is waiting line models. In earlier lectures, we have finished the aspect of simulation with the help of Monte Carlo simulation, and we have solved numericals based on application of Monte Carlo simulation technique. In last lecture, we have started with the aspect of last two lectures. We have seen how waiting line models are related to the decision making aspect of operations research technique, and also what are the various inbuilt parameters of waiting line models so as to optimize the waiting line. We have seen what do you mean by waiting line. We have seen how the queues are formed in real life, and we have also seen behavior of customers or the service takers in the queue. There we have expected nature of the queue, that is first in first out, abbreviated as FIFO, LIFO, last in first out. Then we have seen SIRO, serve in random orders, and priority queues. So in real life, in my very first lecture, I have mentioned that queue is inevitable part of human life. Maybe for human beings queues are necessary, or if we are talking from the point of industrial scenario, in that case the machines waiting in the industry for maintenance purpose or material waiting for the processing are examples of physical nature of commodity which are interested to get required service and form the part of queue of queuing system. We have also seen basic models, 4 models if you remember there, and we have seen the concept of what do you mean by service facility, what do you mean by channel. With example, we have categorized those 4 basic structure of waiting line model, where the customers join from the population, and the nature of joining of customer to the queue is random behavior. We also refer that behavior as Poisson's behavior, and service time is distributed exponentially. Now in today's lecture we will see various notations used in queuing model, and also see numericals based on the data given to systematically evaluate queuing line models. Let's start. So this slide was already discussed, why queue is formed. Then let us focus now our attention on today's lecture, very important lecture, that is mathematical treatment of the queuing model. So here we will be coming across 2 important variables. One is lambda and another is mu. So throughout waiting line model, whatsoever the book you are using, whosoever is the author, they are using this term in waiting line model, and those terms are, one term is lambda and another is mu. So there is significance of lambda and mu that we will see one by one. So the notations used in queuing system is n. This is n, number of customer in the system. Now focus your attention, when we say system, it always means, system always means waiting customer in waiting line and customer in service. Very important. System means customer in waiting and one being served. Second parameter is P of n. This is P of n. P stands for probability. Probability of n customer. Probability of n customers in the system. Probability of, suppose we are interested to find the probability that there are 3 customers in the system, then we use notation n. Pn. Now this is lambda, just I have said. It is average customer arrival rate. So what is lambda? Lambda is nothing but arrival rate of customer. Lambda is, this you must know, lambda is arrival rate of customer. Then important parameter after lambda is mu, average service rate. Average service rate or average number of customers served. So this is indicating average service rate. Students keep in one thing in mind, that it is because of 2 parameters only, lambda and mu, the queues are formed in real life. It is only because of lambda and mu queues are formed in real life. Lambda, number of customers or arrival rate of customers per unit time. Other mu, service rate of a customer per unit time. Now it is obvious that if arrival rate lambda is more and service rate is less, queues are bound to be formed. So in that situation, it is the responsibility of management to decide how to tackle the situation so as to provide the optimum number of service facility, so that customers' waiting time will not increase beyond tolerable limit, and at the same time management will be in a position to handle the system effectively with optimum profit related to providing the service to the customer. So it should be win-win situation for both the parties, that is for customers as well as for service providers. You have to keep that aspect in mind. And the most important thing which I am stressing over here, do not forget this important key which I am telling throughout waiting line problem. The units of lambda and mu must, here I am writing again for your, must be same. This is very important key I am telling you. The unit of lambda, that is arrival rate, and service rate must be same. Meaning if lambda is 10 customer per hour, then mu must be equal to, suppose, 20 customer per hour. I am focusing on this aspect, per hour, here per hour. If in exam or in paper you are given different values of per unit time, different units of per unit time for lambda and mu, it is your duty to bring the units of both parameter to a common platform. If one is in minute, other should be also in minute. If one is in second, other should also be in second. If one is in hour, then other should be in hour. And we know the relationship of conversion of these time units. We know 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes and 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Or if it is a day, 1 day is equal to 24 hours. So accordingly, you have to be very cautious while bringing the units of lambda and mu at a common platform. The important condition is unit must be same. This is very, very important. If you are missing this step, entire calculation will go wrong. If units are not same, entire calculation will go wrong. Keep that point in mind. Now there is one important term as a ratio of lambda and mu. It is called as rho. It is rho. Utilization factor. Utilization factor, lambda by mu, that is average service completion time upon average inter-arrival time, lambda by mu, rho. It is also referred as, in some books they are using this term as traffic intensity, or just I have expressed utilization factor. So this rho is indicated by both traffic intensity as well as utilization factor. Then P of O, or we can call it as 0. So meaning probability, P stands for probability, and 0, probability of 0 customer in the system. Instead of saying 0 customer, we say that there is no customer in the system. So if you are supposed to find probability of no customer in the system or 0 customer in the system, we will be using the symbol P suffix O, or P suffix we can call it as 0. Then S, number of service channels. For our syllabus, it is only number of service channels 1. Maximum number of customer allowed in the system is represented by capital L. Now two important things again, LS and LQ. L stands for length, L stands for length, S stands for system, Q stands for Q. So LS, average number of customer in the system. Average number of customer in the system, it is represented by LS. Here we have seen what system means, waiting and in service, same waiting and in service. And second, LQ, average number of customer in the queue. So that is only number of customer in the queue, which is referred by some authors as queue length. So naturally queue length will be smaller than average number of customer in the system, because this includes your waiting plus service. Then average waiting time is given for the system as WS, and for queue it is referred as WQ. Some books, some authors, they are using the term as, W instead of W, T, average waiting time. W for waiting line, T for time, average waiting time, and for average they are writing TW bar. It varies from author to author, end result is same. And last we can see the probability that number of arriving customer has to wait. Now we know that probability that there is no customer is given by P0. We know maximum probability is 1. So if I want to find the probability that arriving customer has to wait, maximum probability is 1. If there is no customer, we have calculated that by P of 0. So P of 0 is no customer, maximum probability is 1. So if I find the difference between 1 minus P of 0, that is no customer, is the probability that there is customer. And when there is customer in the system, naturally I have to wait. Got it? Very important. So it is given by 1 minus P of 0, this parameter. And now what will, in our syllabus, we are not supposed to go through derivation of all these formulas. We have to use the formulas directly from relationship available. So you can see here the list of the formulas based on, in last slide we have studied the notation for every, this is length of average number of length of system, this is length of queue, number of customers in the waiting line, this is in the system, expected waiting time for queue, this is referred as TW bar also by some authors, and expected customer in the system, this is for entire system. This relation is for system as also written, this is for only waiting line. Similarly, this is for waiting line or queue or waiting line, and this is for system. So students, what your task is, you have to remember all these formulas for attempting the numericals based on waiting line model. While using, again I am repeatedly saying units of lambda and mu, units lambda and mu union must be same. That is, if one is in per hour, other should be in per hour. If one is in per minute, other should be in per minute, per second, like that. So these are the relations for number of length of system, length of queue, waiting time for the system, waiting time for the queue. Again we are having further relationship. This you have to remember, derivation is not included in course curriculum of this subject. The length of queue variance is given by the relationship rho upon 1 minus rho, and we know that rho is nothing but, in earlier slide, rho is traffic intensity or utilization factor. We have seen it is lambda by mu. So if we replace this rho by lambda by mu, you will get this relationship. Then probability that the queue is empty means there is no customer, maximum probability is 1. If you go on subsequently subtracting the value of probability that 0 customer, probability of 1 customer, you will get probability that queue is non-empty. Then probability that the number of customer n in the system exceeds given number k, that is probability of n in the system exceeds. Suppose we are asked to find the probability of number of customer in the system is greater than equal to 5. What I am saying, greater than equal to, exceeds in a given number k, so greater than equal to, so formula used will be this relationship. And expected length of non-empty queue is given by mu upon mu minus lambda, where mu is service rate, lambda is arrival rate of the customer. Now let's see the problem. See here, the problem said that auto vehicles arrive at petrol pump having 1 petrol unit. Service facility 1. People wishing to fill the petrol in the vehicle will join that petrol fuel pump station where they are having only 1 petrol filling unit in Poisson's fashion. Now the name of this Poisson's fashion is also called as random arrival of the customer. Customer will always arrive at fuel station randomly, that we know. We also do the same thing. With average of 10 units per hour, service time is distributed exponentially. Now you have to keep 2 things in your mind throughout this discussion that for our course, the model which we are studying right now, arrival rate is in the form of Poisson's fashion. Arrival rate, which is related to lambda, will be in the form of Poisson's fashion or random arrival, and service time distribution is exponentially. So this which I am highlighting is related to mu, this is related to lambda, and it is given that mean of 3 minutes. Mean of 3 minutes. Find out what is asked. Average number of units in the system, NQ bar. Average number of units in the system, average waiting line, average length of queue, probability that arriving customer at the fuel pump will have to wait, utilization factor for the pump unit that we know it is lambda by mu, and probability that number of units in the system is 2, means we have to find P of probability that number of units in the system is 2. But most of the time, or many of the times, I have repeated throughout the point I have started this lecture that unit of lambda and mu must be same. Now, first thing, you should be in a position to identify which parameter belongs to arrival rate of the customer and which parameter belongs to service rate of the customer. Unless and until you are in a position to identify the correct parameter pertaining to arrival rate, pertaining to service rate, you are not in a position to solve problem. Problems are very simple, straightforward. What you have to do is you have to use the formulae directly by putting the values of lambda and mu. Remember one thing, if you commit mistake in finding the value or interpreting the value of lambda and mu from the data given, if your any one value of lambda and mu is wrong, your entire problem will be wrong. Or if even your values of lambda and mu are very correct, what I am stressing now, are very correct, but you have used different units for lambda and mu in formulas, different units I am saying, then also your problem will go wrong. So students, keep in mind, focus your attention on, first watch the units given, convert accordingly. If units are not same, you have to convert that parameter into required unit. That is very mandatory part. Got it? So here, after reading this problem, what we could understand is auto vehicles arrive, means person carrying vehicle, they arrive in the petrol pump fuel unit at 10 units per hour. So it is lambda is equal to arrival rate is given by lambda. So it is lambda is equal to 10 units per hour. And students, it is given that the person who is filling the fuel in the vehicle, he takes averagely 3 minutes. The word used is mean of 3 minutes. Service time mean of 3 minutes. Now we know service time we are quoting with mu. Now which mistake student commit? They take mu is equal to, they only simply take mu is equal to 3 minutes and they put the value of lambda as 10 and they put value of mu as 3 minutes directly into the formula. Students, this is wrong. Why? Because you are not maintaining the required units which should be same. I said that you have to bring lambda and mu at the same platform for units. Now since I am having this data directly in simple terms in the form of 10 units per hour, so what is my required work to make this mu in the same fashion of per hour? This is very important, very important. Now simple logic I have to use. 3 minutes he take for one vehicle. 3 minutes he take for one vehicle. We are having in 1 hour 60 minutes. We are because I want to bring it to the platform of hours. So in 1 hour, 3 minutes, one vehicle. This is arrival of customer. Now I want to find how many vehicles are filled with fuel in 1 hour. What I want to find, how many vehicles are filled in 1 hour. 1 hour comprises of 60 minutes. So simple mathematics. If 3 minutes are required for filling one vehicle, if 3 minutes are required for filling one vehicle, then how many vehicles are filled in 60? So what is your answer? We have studied such type of mathematical relation proportion in our school life. One vehicle takes 3 minutes. So in other words, 3 minutes one vehicle, 60 minutes how many vehicle? So it will be 60 by 3, that is 20 vehicles per hour. So see the mistake, if you do this blunder and put the value in formula, you will be wrong. So now what we did is we have brought the variables at common platform, and now students, it's simple. You have to remember the formula. Once you are through with this, you have to put the value, these values in the formula and calculate with the help of calculator. I have solved this problem for you. You can see how I have solved. The required parameter was to show you one unit takes 3 minutes. Therefore, this is 20 units per hour is the mu value, which is written over here. Lambda value is 10 units per hour. Now, as per notation, average number of units in the system, n lambda upon mu minus lambda, put these values, it is 1. Simple. What you have to do, you have to remember the formula, put the corrected values with common units in the formula and get the answer. Average waiting time for customer. I have said that somebody is using TW bar, somebody is using it as in the form of other notation, that is waiting time for the system or waiting time for the queue, as we have seen here. Expected waiting time for the customer, in queue and in the system. So WK bar, WS bar, I have also explained this concept in previous slides. TW bar like that. So same logic is used here for this problem. average waiting time. So once you find these two values, TW bar lambda upon mu, mu minus lambda, put these values, you get this answer as 0.05 hour. If you multiply it by into 60, you get this same in minute. So you can keep your answer either in hour or multiply this hour value by 60. So 6 5s are 30. So decimal point you get it 3 minutes. Average length of queue, NQ bar, is given by this relation lambda into TW bar. TW bar is already calculated and this is 10. Now here you have to be very cautious. See here, if you make the blunder of multiplying, this is 10 is number of units per hour, and if you multiplied the by minutes, again it will go wrong. So when you are multiplying or dividing to a parameter by other parameter, always ensure that units are same. So per hour, since it is per hour, I am using this hour criteria and I am getting answer in hour, which is then converted into minutes. Probability that arriving customer at the pump will have to wait. So this lambda by mu is indicating you utilization factor or proportion of time the system is busy, that we have seen in notation formula lambda by mu. So lambda by mu will give me fraction value. Lambda by mu will give me fraction value. Probability, I will multiply that fraction value by 100. So I will get probability in percentage. So that what I did is lambda by mu into 100. So it comes to be 50%. Simple problems. Then same is referred as utilization factor lambda by mu. Again it is same, which is equal to this bit. And last, probability that number of units in the system is 2. Formula is Pn, and here you have to replace this n by 2. Wherever there is n, put 2, divide, put value of lambda mu, n equal to 2, 1 minus lambda by mu, you will get the answer of probability that it is 0.125. So likewise, the main thing is you have to bring lambda and mu in the same unit, common unit platform. Let's go for other problems. Now here these are the various applications of waiting line model in real life problem. A television repairman finds that time spent on his job has an exponential distribution. This we have highlighted in last slide also, last problem also. Arrival of customer poisons or random, service time exponential distribution. Mean of 30 minutes, mu mean of 30 minutes. If repairman follows Poisson's distribution, that is arrival, with approximate average rate of 10 televisions per 8-hour day, what is the repairman's expected idle time each day, and how many jobs are ahead? Question is asked. So first is supposed to find idle time. Now here it is mentioned that day is 8 hours day. Working day is never of 24 hours. We work for 8 hours. So what is expected, that out of 8 hours we are supposed to find how much time he remains idle. Got it? So again two parameters, lambda and mu. It is given that I want to have common unit, and the common unit for me is per hour. So lambda is equal to 10 by 8. Now 10 by 8 sets per hour. How many? 10 per 8-hour day. In a day of 8 hours working, you are getting 10 television sets. So per hour 10 by 8, 5 by 4. Similarly he is repairing taking 30 minutes for one television. So naturally in 1 hour he will repair 2 television set. 2 television sets. So mu will be 2 sets per hour. So now again important point is per hour, sorry, again important point is per hour. This per hour and this per hour. Rest is putting the values of mu and lambda into the formula. So what we are finding, the number of, we are interested in finding idle time. So first we have to find busy time, and if you know, recall, busy is given by lambda by mu, that proportion time the facility is busy. So if you take lambda by mu of 8 hours, you get 5 hours is busy. 5 hours, how we have calculated? Lambda by mu is fraction busy, proportion time he is busy of 8 hours, therefore we have multiplied it by 8 hours. So lambda by mu into 8 gives you 5 hours as a busy. Day is of 8 hours, so 8 minus 3, 8 minus 5, 3 hours he is idle. 3 hours he is idle. Got it? Second, what is the expected average number of TV sets just brought in? So that is length, Q length of the system. The TV which is just came for repair, how many sets are ahead of that? That is to be evaluated. So it is given by length of system, that is waiting line already in existence plus one being served. So that is given by lambda upon mu minus lambda. So 5 by 3 means there are 2 sets already in pipeline before the TV just brought in for repair. So that is how analysis is done in this particular problem. So again, logic is straightforward. You have to use appropriate relationship from the list of what you have to do. Prepare a list of formulae. First write notations on your preparation sheet. Write notations lambda, mu, TW bar, NQ bar, N like that, LS, LQ, WQ, WS. Then write their sentence, what that abbreviation means. Then write step by step in order various formulas. And at the top, mention one important hint for you. Always attempt for common unit of lambda and mu. Now, similar problem again. In a railway marshalling yard, goods train arrive at a rate of 30 trains per day. 30 trains per day. Assuming that inter-arrival time follows an exponential distribution and service time distribution is also exponential. You are supposed to find expected Q size, probability that Q size exists then, and if the input of the train increases from 30 to 33, what will be the change in parameter 1 and 2. So again, for such problem, what is required is calculation of value of lambda and T. So 30 trains in a day, 30 trains in a day, so 30 by 60 into 24, so that gives you, because this will give you minute, for considering whole day you have to convert trains per minute basis. Similarly, you have to convert mu per minute basis. One can convert this in per minute, per hour, per minute, per hour. Even if you work out for per second, both units, problem will not be wrong. Adopt whichever suits you, whichever you find easy for calculation. Then simply using the formula, expected Q size LS that we have seen. Now this rho, here we can find rho. How this rho comes? rho is equal to what? Lambda by mu. And lambda by mu, you are having these values of lambda, you are having this value of mu. So first calculate lambda by mu, put that lambda by mu in this formula, and you will get expected queue size, that is line length, as 3 trains. Probability that queue size exceeds 10 means number of trains. Waiting exceeds 10 is given by simple lambda by mu raised to 10. So basic relationship for this is, we have seen in earlier slides, it is rho raised to n. N is to be replaced by whatever number of probability you are finding for that particular application. So here it is given 10, replace n by 10, rho lambda by mu. So it gives 0.06. Then the difference is evaluated if input decreases from 30 trains, so lambda will change. Now definitely this you have to come in mind. If 30 trains increases to 33 trains, means lambda has increased, and mu will be also varying as 1 by 36 trains per minute. Accordingly, rho will change, LS will change, and PS will change. So first case we have evaluated with original values. Next case we have evaluated with 30 trains intensity increase to 33. There will be change in arrival rate. We will get new lambda, we will get new mu. Based on new lambda and new mu, we will get new rho like this, and we will get new length of system. So this is application of this waiting line problem in the area of railway for finding the time. Again, now these are all the problems pertaining to decision making in variety of areas. So here we can find the problem: arrivals at telephone booth. One problem we have seen for TV repairman, one problem we have seen for auto filling station, one problem just we have seen pertaining to railway track busy aspect, and now again arrivals at telephone booth, which is a common scenario, are considered to be poisons, arrival poisons, with average arrival time of 10 minutes between one arrival and next. Means after every, suppose one person is arriving right now, next will arrive at after 10 minutes, third will arrive after 20 minutes, like that. So that is inter arrival time of every person is following average time of 10 minutes. That is the meaning. So naturally in 1 minute it will be 6 persons, because if persons are coming at a frequency of 10 minutes interval, in 1 hour only 6 persons can come. The length of phone call is assumed to be distributed exponentially with mean of 3 minutes. Every person talks for 3 minutes. So in 1 hour, which is 60 minutes, how many persons will talk? Can you guess? Yes, 20. That is 60 divided by average 3 minutes. 60 by 3, 20. So 20 customers will take the service from the phone booth. What is asked? What is the probability that person arriving at the booth will have to wait first? Means there is some person who is already on phone, and some person on the waiting line. The telephone department will install a second booth. Now this is decision making. So what is asked? After convincing that arrival would expect waiting of at least 3 minutes. As a service provider, the telephone department will think of adding second booth if customers are waiting for more than 3 minutes. By how much should the flow of arrivals should increase? So naturally, what is asked in this problem is, what is new arrival rate? What should be the new arrival rate to justify the second booth. What is the average length of queue that forms from time to time? These three parameters are supposed to be evaluated. So again, as just said, 1/10, so 0.1 customers per minute, or if you want to find in hour basis, it is multiplied by 60, so 6 customer per hour. Mu, this minute, focus, per minute. So first parameter, probability that person will have to wait, 1 minus P0. P0 is probability of no customer, that we have seen. Total probability is 1. 1 minus no customer is probability that there is customer, and if there is customer, he has to wait. So calculate this 1 minus P0, which is nothing but traffic intensity, lambda by mu, and this comes to be 0.33. Second, you have to calculate nu lambda dash nu for justifying second booth. So waiting time is given, average waiting time 3 minutes is given. So put that value here. Unknown value is lambda bar new value, and you get this new value. Lambda bar is equal to arrival rate is 0.16. Now original was 0.12. So arrival rate increase is nothing but it is given by this 0.06 arrivals per minute. And this is the answer to justify second booth. Arrivals should increase by this rate. Average length of non-empty queue, L mu upon mu minus lambda. So students, what we have seen in this particular topic is we have evaluated variety of problems pertaining to waiting line model. Important thing again I will stress, unit of lambda and mu must be same, and rest write all these formulas on a paper, learn them by heart, see that you are not missing any term, put value of lambda and mu with same unit in the formula and get the desired result. So here we end this particular unit. Practice all the problems covered right from unit 1 to unit 6, and you will become perfect only after attempting problem from first stage to last stage throughout. Practice is very important. Use calculators for solving the problems, and follow the steps mentioned in my all lectures. Wish you a very happy learning. Here I end my course of operations research technique.